Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And give this video a like up. Young and the Restless next week spoilers find in critical condition during the week of November 18 to 22, 2024. On Y&R, check out the latest spoilers for the CBS daytime drama. Next week, on Young and the Restless, Phyllis Summers is pretty banged up from the car wreck and still unconscious in the hospital. Her daughter, Summer Newman, is there and she is frantic. She can't believe what's happening and that her mom won't wake up. With her is her brother, Daniel Rumalotti. He's asking Dr. Elena Dawson if there's a treatment or something the doctors can do for his mom. She replies that other than stabilizing her and monitoring her vitals, there's nothing more they can do. Indeed, it appears that it's all on Phyllis to fight and wake up on Young and the Restless. If she doesn't, Sharon Newman will think she killed her. However, we now know Sharon is being set up by two evil psychos. While Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford, fights for her life, the villains responsible celebrate their victory. Now we know that Jordan Howard, Colleen Zink, and Ian Ward, Ray Wise, are back. And they're responsible for Sharon Newman's, Sharon Case, recent mental health crisis. They set her up, likely by drugging her, and one of them is probably the real person who murdered Heather Stevens, Vale Bloom, on Young and the Restless. Next week, they're in their room at the No-Tell Motel eating dinner and drinking wine. Then, Jordan asks Ian if they should pop the champagne as they break out into laughter. These two are undoubtedly more evil than ever, and everyone is in grave danger. Meanwhile, on Y&R, Victor Newman, Eric Braden, meets with Diane Jenkins, Susan Walters. He tells her he forwarded the signed papers transferring Glissade to her. She's skeptical and says, "Just like that?" As if it can't be that simple. Indeed, with Victor, most things are not. So she's right to be uneasy. However, she might have bigger problems on Young and the Restless. Soon, she tells her son, Kyle Abbott, Michael Mueller, the truth. She admits that she and his father, Jack Abbott, Peter Bergman, have been faking everything. All the fighting, their supposed split, and her moving out were all part of their plan to save Kyle Abbott from Victor. However, they may not be prepared for his reaction on Young and the Restless. Kyle will likely feel deeply hurt and betrayed that his parents made him believe their marriage was falling apart. And things might be worse between them and Kyle than they were before. Y&R is wild next week. Don't miss a moment to see if Phyllis Summers pulls through on the CBS soap opera. Next week on The Young and the Restless, fans are in for an emotional roller coaster as Phyllis Summers finds herself at death's door, sparking a whirlwind of drama, heartbreak, and unexpected revelations in Genoa City. With her life hanging by a thread, loved ones rally around her, tensions flare, and secrets threaten to surface, leaving viewers on the edge of their seats. Here's a deep dive into what to expect from this gripping storyline and its potential ripple effects. The week kicks off with Phyllis collapsing unexpectedly during a heated confrontation with Diane Jenkins at the Grand Phoenix. What begins as a typical fiery exchange between the two rivals quickly escalates into chaos. Witnesses rush to Phyllis' aid as she gasps for breath, clutching her chest before losing consciousness. As the paramedics arrive, Jack Abbott is overcome with guilt and fear. His lingering feelings for Phyllis resurface, and he questions whether his rekindled relationship with Diane played a role in pushing Phyllis to her breaking point. Summer Newman Abbott, Phyllis' daughter, is inconsolable as she watches her mother being wheeled away, while Kyle Abbott finds himself torn between supporting Summer and defending his mother, Diane. Meanwhile, Nikki Newman wastes no time pointing fingers at Diane, accusing her of causing Phyllis undue stress. Victor Newman, ever the patriarch, steps in to mediate, but his protective instincts for Nikki clash with his desire to maintain peace in the family. Phyllis is rushed to Genoa City Memorial Hospital, where Nate Hastings takes charge of her care. The diagnosis? A severe cardiac event that leaves her in critical condition. Nate warns the family that Phyllis' chances of survival are slim unless she responds to treatment immediately. Summer refuses to leave her mother's side, pleading with her to fight. In a heart-wrenching moment, Summer whispers apologies and confessions, blaming herself for not recognizing the signs of her mother's deteriorating health. Meanwhile, Daniel Rumalotti, Phyllis' son, returns to town upon hearing the news. His arrival adds another layer of complexity as unresolved tensions between him and his sister resurface. Elsewhere, Diane's past sins become the talk of the town once again. Ashley Abbott and Nikki seize the opportunity to dig into Diane's history, determined to prove she's somehow responsible for Phyllis' condition. Jack, however, stands by Diane, creating a rift with his siblings and leaving him questioning his loyalty. Midweek, Phyllis' condition worsens, and doctors inform the family that her chances of waking up are diminishing. This devastating news sends shockwaves through Genoa City, prompting loved ones and frenemies alike to reflect on their relationships with the fiery redhead. Nick Newman struggles with his emotions, recalling his tumultuous yet passionate history with Phyllis. Sharon Rosales offers him a shoulder to lean on, though her presence sparks tension with Sally Spectra, who can't help but notice the lingering bond between Nick and Sharon. Meanwhile, a shocking secret begins to unravel. Jeremy Stark, Diane's former partner in crime, resurfaces with cryptic claims about Phyllis. Jeremy's allegations suggest that Phyllis' collapse may not have been entirely natural. Could someone have orchestrated this tragedy, and if so, who? As Jeremy's accusations spread, Genoa City becomes a battleground of speculation and blame. Diane finds herself cornered, with Nikki, Ashley, and even Summer demanding answers. Diane vehemently denies any involvement, but her protests fall on deaf ears. Amidst the chaos, Victor quietly begins his own investigation. He assigns Michael Baldwin to dig into Jeremy's claims, suspecting there's more to the story than meets the eye. Michael's findings lead him down a dangerous path, uncovering evidence that could exonerate Diane or incriminate her further. Back at the hospital, Daniel shares a tender moment with his mother, recounting childhood memories and promising to make amends if she pulls through. His vulnerability softens Summer, and the siblings begin to mend their fractured bond. As the week concludes, Phyllis' condition takes an unexpected turn. Nate reports a slight improvement, giving her family a glimmer of hope. However, the joy is short-lived when Jeremy makes a bold move, confronting Diane publicly and accusing her of poisoning Phyllis. This accusation stuns the town, and even Jack begins to question Diane's innocence. Diane, desperate to prove her loyalty and love for Jack, vows to clear her name. But as the evidence mounts, her credibility crumbles, leaving her isolated and vulnerable. Elsewhere, Billy Abbott steps in as a voice of reason for Summer and Daniel, encouraging them to unite for their mother's sake. His support earns him gratitude from both siblings, hinting at a possible shift in his own story arc. Meanwhile, Victor's investigation uncovers a shocking twist. A mysterious substance was indeed found in Phyllis' system. But who administered it, and why? The revelation sets the stage for a gripping cliffhanger, leaving fans eager to uncover the truth. Next week's episodes of The Young and the Restless promise to be some of the most emotionally charged and suspenseful in recent memory. As Phyllis' fate hangs in the balance, alliances will shift, secrets will come to light, and the residents of Genoa City will be forever changed. Will Phyllis survive this harrowing ordeal? Is Diane truly to blame, or is she being set up by a more sinister force? And how will the fallout impact the Abbott and Newman families moving forward?